We're going to talk about jagged arrays in this video. If you're not already using these, you're in for a real treat because these will really take you to the next level in GameMaker. Don't forget to follow me on x.com/Wizardy. Okay, so I have a create event here in this object, and we're going to create a jagged array. If you don't know what an array is, go to my previous video. It's in the description where I talked about 1D and 2D arrays. So here's how you'd make a jagged array. We'll say, again, you can name these anything. myArray, and I guess we could say myJagged array, but whatever. And then we're going to say 0 equals, then we're going to do brackets, and we're going to just give it, 3 values here. We're going to say 10, we're going to say 12, and then we're going to say 87, semicolon. This is a jagged array, okay? So to access the data going on here, and of course you can put like a lot of data. Of course this could be any number. This could be 3. You could put Bob, Zach, and James. You can put any kind of data type within these things. And so you can see we just have like a traditional 1D array, but then we have almost like an array within an array, because then we have these 3 data types, and then you could have as many as you want. So let's access some of this data. We're going to say show message, and we're going to say my array. Now we're going to access the second one, right? So we're going to go 3, and we close it off, so we have that bracket here. Then we make another set of brackets, and we're going to say 1. Okay, remember in the last video, I reiterated that in programming language, it starts at 0. So we're used to going like 1, 2, 3. But with programming language, to get to the third value, you go 1 or 0, 1, 2. So 2 is really 3. And so I'll show you what I mean. So we're going myArray 3, which is going to be this array. But then we're going 1, which is going to be Zach. If we wanted Bob, we'd go 0. So when we run the game, it's going to say Zach. This is a jagged array. If we wanted Bob, we'd say 0, Bob. Now we can change this 3 to 0. So now it's 0, 0. So now we should get the value of 10 right here in this other array. There we go, 10. So again, just like in the last video, which I encourage you to watch, we could make these variables, and we could say 0, myvar2, and that could be 3. And so we could say, instead of this 0, 0, we could say myvar1, myvar2. Okay, so what this should give us is the value of 90, because it's accessing this jagged array 0, and then it's going to go to the value of 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Should give us the value of 90, and it sure does. Okay, so that's a jagged array, and they're very cool. Just keep them in mind as you're making your game, because eventually you'll run into things where this would be a great way to solve said things. For one example, jagged arrays can be very useful for things like dialogue. So I'm going to paste this code I have. All right, to make that a little bit smaller. Okay, so it can be useful for things like NPC dialogue. So you can see we have this jagged array. I'm actually going to get rid of this. We don't really need that. We have this jagged array, dialogues, 0, 1, 2, and then you can see with each line here, like 0, we have hello and goodbye. Dialogue 1, we have welcome traveler, do you need something? And then dialogue 2, watch out for other monsters, stay safe, etc., etc. And then, we can generate different responses. So if we need something from this dialogue 1, of course, dialogue 1, we access it right there, and then we choose which one that we want. So in this case, dialogue 1, which is going to be this, and then we want the first, or we want number 1 from that list here, and so that's going to say need something, because remember, it always starts at 0. So if this was 0, it would say welcome traveler, and of course we have more. We have all the way up. We have 3 strings here. So if we run this, of course I'm putting it in this local variable here. So if we say show message response, it's going to give us need something. Okay, need something. So this can be very useful for things like this. If we change this to 2, and then we change it to 0, it's going to say, watch out for monsters. So very useful for different types of NPCs and different dialogue options and stuff like that. It could also be useful for waves of monsters. So if we change this to waves, or just wave, I guess you don't need it to be plural. So you could say wave 0. Okay, so you could be like, object, troll, and then or just whatever. You can just troll or spider, and then for the third one, or the second one rather, this could be an orc and another troll and a wolf. You get the point. So you could do different waves of monsters like this, and then you could find a way that if it's a troll, then spawn a troll or whatever. Or you could just put, honestly, you could just put objects in here. If I can type. Man, I need to learn how to type. If you've been watching the videos, I've been struggling. So you could do, different object types in here. And each wave could do a different thing, and then you could just have those spawn. I mean, there's so much you can do. You could also make inventories with this. This is just another way. Last thing I'll say is you could also do 2D jagged arrays. So just like in the last video, we talked about the different, there's a 1D and a 2D array. You could do 0, 1, and so we'll just do 10, 20, 30, 40. And we'll just name this numbers. So now this is a 2D jagged array. So I could say, we can have as many as we want. This could be 1, 2, and this could be 5, 10. You get the point here, but I'm just, for the sake of demonstration. We can do show number, or show message rather. Numbers, 1, 2, and then we say, let's say we want the number 15, 0, 1, 2, and we'll do 2 there. Boom. That's going to give us the number 15. So now we're doing 2D jagged arrays. I mean, it's like, it's blowing our mind, right? So think of some use cases for your game. Play around with this, practice with these, because this allows you to be more flexible when handling a lot of data, which is inevitably what you're going to be doing in GameMaker. You're going to eventually run into issues where you have a ton of data and you need really flexible ways to manipulate, play, access, and use that data. And that's where arrays, but specifically jagged arrays, whether 1D or 2D jagged arrays, are really going to come in handy. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I am doing GameMaker tutorials every single day, and I've been doing that for nearly 2 weeks now, so I don't want you to miss out. You're going to learn something new eventually, so subscribe to this channel, please. I'm begging you. Like, I will get on my knees right now. I'll actually beg. I really want to break, how I think we're closing in on 7,000 subscribers. I don't know for sure, but we're getting somewhere. And so also follow me on xx.com/Wizardy and join our Discord. I'm talking to people on there. I'm trying to help people when they have questions, and I just want to be here to help. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next video.